Hi, welcome to another episode of Inside the Director's Studio with Footlighters Theater. I'm Will Rompala, your host, and I'm here today with the director and the playwright of the first show of our 2012 portion of our season, The Last Daughter. And joining with me today is the director, David Ben Leavitt, and the author of the play, Trish Cacek. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure.
Yep. We're actually sitting on a portion of the set. A little bit of the kitchen behind us here. We're getting close to Tech Week. We're almost getting and just about ready to get going. So let me start with you, David. A question about the play and your involvement here with Footlighters. So how did your involvement with Footlighters Theater begin?
I last directed a show here about 4 years ago. We did Arsenic and Old Lace. Trish was one of the actors who auditioned and was cast.
Oh, good.
That's when I met her. And I've been looking for appropriate work to do here ever since.
So, David, how did you get involved in the Last Daughter project here at Footlighters?
Well, Trish actually sent me the script to read. I was a little concerned about it because I hadn't known her as a playwright. I knew her as an author. I knew her as an actor. And I didn't quite know what she would do with an actual play until the first time I read it. And I was struck by how much it touched me, how it spoke to my situation, as well as I would hope everybody else is going to come see it.
Actually, let's give a little bit of background for those of you that out there that are unfamiliar with Trish's work. Trish, you're an accomplished author. Your genre, though, is horror.
It's horror and dark fiction, and I write under P.D. Cacek. Now I changed my name to use my real name, Patricia, for this because people who know my work will go, "Oh, it's got vampires, it's got ghosts." Well, it's got a ghost. Yes, it does have ghosts. I can't get away with that. But I didn't want what I'd done before to have any, shadow on what I'm doing now. So,
what really made you say, "Let me do a play this time," and let me do a play it is definitely different thematically from your other work?
Oh yeah. Originally, I had another play in mind to do, and that's still on the back burner. I haven't quite gotten to that. But I wrote it primarily for actors of a certain age. There was no one, I'd say, under 45, 50 in this one, and trying to find plays for my people, of a certain age. It's hard. So I said, well, let me think about this, and like most of my short stories and novels, this thing came full blown. Beginning, middle, and end, and I sat down and wrote the title and the last line, which is how I write everything.
Wow.
But it was a little different because I wrote short stories and novels where you show, you don't tell. A play is telling, and the actors show, and I was going crazy. So there's a lot more stage direction in this than probably is normal, but it was for me to set the stage or scene in my mind. And I said, the director will change whatever. But for me, I needed that little bit of, okay, she moves there, great. I feel like a writer now.
Now, I may ask about that. I mean, it is an opportunity for you to take a piece of work which would normally be published and people can read and interpret in their mind, on the theater of the mind as they're reading a piece. Now you are taking something, putting it out there, and letting somebody else just run with it and interpret it. I mean, how is that letting go going?
Well, when I finish a story, or however, when I finally say it's done, I'm not going to look at this again, I draw back from it. It's done, it's finished. But I haven't had that moment going, oh, my words, they're speaking my words. I'm going, wow, they're saying the words like I heard them in my head.
Oh, that's great.
Which is just wild.
That's
really
and that's
wild.
A testament to your director who's taking it and interpreting it. How has that been when you're taking this play? It's never been done before, so you do have it is the world premiere, so you have an opportunity to truly paint on a blank canvas when it comes to stage stage setting, actors, movement, blocking, and all that. How has that been for you as an opportunity to just start from scratch?
It's really nice. Again, as you said, if you're working with an established play, there are certain things that people expect. Here, they don't know what to expect.
So the one aspect of this, there's actually another major character, I think, in this play, and that's history and culture. And we're kind of dancing around some of the aspects to the play because there are surprises, and we're trying not to give any of those away. However, I would say that there is well, we could talk about one major theme in the play. Now, and you wrote this from your own personal history, so you want to talk a little bit about?
There is, the kernel of the story. Everything else is fabrication, but the kernel is that on her deathbed, my grandmother gave me the family secret, the horrible secret that was kept from me as a child and was kept from everybody else. Just awful. She said, we're Jewish. Don't tell anybody. And it's like, okay. And some of the play you'll see, I get the funny parts, like, we called it a Hanukkah bush, really. But I don't have a history. I don't have a culture. I do know that some of the family never quite made it out, and they are concentration camps, and I don't know where. True. When I was little, I thought my grandparents were speaking Russian. And when I got older, I went, but she's Russian or Lithuanian. We don't know that now. And he's Romanian, stage managing The Immigrant in Colorado. And they're speaking. I went, what language is that? And he says, Yiddish. Aha! That was their common language. But I wasn't allowed to know.
So you had this piece missing, and you started discovering it, at least. Or
yeah. Well, and I started doing research, and the idea, I said, I need to write a play, and it was like The Last Daughter. Okay, in the culture, it's through the female line. I have sons. I'm the last daughter.
You want to give a quick little summary then?
A woman discovers, the deep, dark secret that her mother has passed on to her, as she has passed on, because she can't deal with it in life. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm this. And then you go, well, wait a minute, I'm this. I don't know what this is.
And what does that mean?
I have to learn, and why did she keep this from me?
And we follow the main character, Maggie, with that moment of discovery and taking, I guess, that journey you took, accelerated a bit in trying to come to terms with that identity and trying to come to terms with her relationships with her siblings. I'm an only child, so the character of the brother is also myself. No, I'm not. It was the argument I had with myself, going, well, back and forth. We're almost in Tech Week. At the time of this filming, we're just about wrapping up the set and lighting and all the final preparations. And the play is about to step forward for the first time as the world premiere. I'm going to ask both of you, when the curtain falls on the first performance, and you have an audience out there who's seen it for the first time, and they file out of the theater, what is it that you want them to be saying? Or what do you want them to be thinking or taking away with them after the performance?
What I don't want them to take is the idea that this is just a Jewish story.
Oh.
It's a story about discovering who you are, where your family is, how you connect to them, how you connect to your roots. And I think one of the strengths of the play is that it's not just saying, here's a Jewish family, they discover blah, blah, blah. Because I think it works much more broadly. It works for everyone, saying, think about who you are, where you came from, how you react to them. Think about the importance of your family. And if they go out thinking about that, I'll be very happy.
Very good. Trish, how about you?
Yeah. Family is important, and what we are is based on who came before us and what stories came before us. So what I would like is actually to hear a moment of silence, stunned silence, while things kind of settled into everybody. But what I'd like for them to take away is just a feeling of self and what came before, and the idea that, you know, this story was mine, but everybody's story begins at home, and then we go and we tell it or we live it. And it's important that the stories of the home, the stories of ourselves, go on. You know, so no less daughters, no less sons, just continue the stories, and don't ever be afraid of what that story might say.
Very good. Well, we want to invite you to come on out and hear a story here at Footlighters. The Last Daughter opens up for our time, it's opening up in just about a week now, but actually we open up on January 20th, 21st, and 22nd, the first weekend. The second weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. And our closing weekend is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday performance, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. All of our shows in the evening are at 8 o'clock, except for Sundays, which are matinees at 2 p.m. So come on out and see the show. You can pick up tickets on our website at footlighterstheater.com or at the door. So I'm going to thank you very much. David, thank you very much for taking time with us.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Thank
Trish.
you.
We'll see you at the theater.